Hi there. In this video, we will analyze each of the characters in the mark. We will also be looking at the relationships between certain characters. Here is a character map showing how each character is linked to the others in the novel. Please take note of the direction of the arrows as well as the color keys at the top of the map. Blue represents the Mangarians, red represents the traders, and orange represents the mixed breed. Let's start by looking at Madam Maryam and the relationship she has with other characters. Madam Maryam is the head drudge. She is sisters with the orphan warden. She is also then the aunt of Handler Xavier, whose mother is the orphan warden. But we know that Madam Maryam is the loyal caregiver of Mistress, and she has been her caregiver for many years. Mistress happens to be married to Master Hilton, and together they have a daughter named Larissa. But Mistress has a past. She had a love affair relationship with Handler Xavier, so Madam Maryam's nephew. They had this relationship, and they actually brought rise to Juliet, their illegitimate daughter. So that makes Juliet Handler Xavier's daughter, as well as Mistress's daughter. That makes the orphan warden Juliet's grandmother. We know that Madam Maryam is supervising Dora and the chef, as well as Juliet, while they work as drudges in the Mangarian household for Mistress and Master Hilton. So if we have a look at Juliet, she has a flatmate and her best friend, and her best friend's name is Catherine Seven or Kitty. We also know that Juliet has a relationship with Nicholas, a romantic one. Juliet is mixed breed and Nicholas is a Mangarian, but they defy the machine and they have a relationship anyway. So that makes Juliet and Larissa half-sisters. And it's actually shocking to find out that Nicholas is actually destined to be fate mates with Larissa, Juliet's half-sister. Shocking news. So anyway, Nicholas is the son of Bartholomew, who happens to be friends with Master Carlton. So here we see the entire chain links together. All the characters link together in some way or the other. It can be confusing at times, but that is why I designed this character map, to assist you in understanding the dynamics between each one. So feel free to spend some more time studying it before we move on to the next part of this video. In this chart we see the various guardians of Mangarian City. At the top is the president of Mangaria, who happens to be Mistress's mother. She is the ruler and the person with the ultimate power. Below her are the guardians of various departments. They are responsible for ensuring the smooth running of each department in Mangaria. In the mark, we are made aware of the guardian of justice and peace, and his name is Bartholomew, Nicholas's dad to be specific. Then we see the guardian of culture and heritage, who happens to be Mistress, until her husband gives her position away. Then we see the guardian of science and technology, and he is Master Hilton. Obviously, there are other departments, but those Mangarians are not mentioned by name. Firstly, we look at Juliet 7 or Edyth, who is the protagonist, and this means that she is the main or central character of the novel. Juliet 7 Edyth, the protagonist in the novel. She is an orphan who lives in the Orphanage, Section O, but she is not aware that her parents are Handler Xavier and Mistress until much later. She is 14 years old in the beginning of the novel, and she was taught to read at the age of 9 by a character named Reader. She is forced to play the game and steal for Handler Xavier. We know that she cares deeply for Kitty and is very protective over her. She does not make this obvious to those around her. She wears many masks and deceives the other characters. She never shows her true feelings to anyone. She looks like a posh because of her light-colored skin. She describes her skin as being pus-colored. She is destined to be a drudge, and she is desperate to remove the mark on her spine and run away. She has a forbidden romantic relationship with the son of a Mangarian, and his name is Nicholas. The tellers say that she is the one who will save the traders from the oppression of the Mangarians. Then we see the orphan warden. The orphan warden manages the orphanage and cares for the orphans. She is an alcoholic and drinks a ton of bug juice. Handler Xavier is her son, and she is corrupt and bribes Mangarian officials to cover up her deeds. She has a half-sister by the name of Madam Maryam, who she hasn't spoken to for 15 years. She actually saved Edyth, her illegitimate granddaughter, from being killed as a baby, and did not tell anyone until she was about to die. Then we move on to Handler Xavier's character. He uses the orphans to steal from him. He appears to be a ruthless and harsh character, and he is one of the main members of the resistance movement. He hates the posh, but had a child with his posh lover, Mistress. He is Juliet's biological father, but he is completely unaware of this. Then we see Catherine 7, also nicknamed Kitty. She is also an orphan who lives in Section O. Her parents were part of the resistance organization, and they died in Savage City. She was 14 years old in the beginning of the novel. She was destined to be a pleasure worker, and she was sent to Section AR, Attitude Readjustment, when she resisted the system at school. She cares deeply for Edyth, but hides it from her. She saved Edyth's life when they were smalls from a fire in the orphanage. She was also part of the resistance organization. Edyth actually calls her the mistress of the mask because she pretended to be vain and selfish the entire time, but it is revealed later that she is actually brave, strong, self-sacrificing, and caring when she steps forward and volunteers to carry out the plans of the resistance movement. We then move on to Reader. Reader is an old man who taught Edyth to read when she was just 9 years old. He is fond of Edyth and enjoys her company. He is blind and can read Braille. He is considered to be a past trader. This is when traders get too old to work and they actually get retired. He was a teacher when he was still working. He has a secret library of books and trades reading time for stolen books that Edyth brings him. He lives above the Beautiful Like Me beauty parlor. He is like a father to Edyth, even though she doesn't realize this. Later in the novel, he is discovered by the locusts and sent to Section PT, which stands for Section Past Traders. All his books are confiscated by the locust. Then we analyze Nicholas's character. He is 16 years old. He is a member of the 5th Mangarian family. He works as a locust in the law enforcement department and is destined to become the guardian of justice and peace, just like his father Bartholomew. He is willing to sacrifice everything in order to choose his own destiny. He is attracted to Edyth and actually has a forbidden romantic relationship with her, despite being destined to marry Larissa, Edyth's half-sister. Nicholas and Larissa are destined to be fate mates, which means they will obviously end up marrying each other if their families have their way. He plans on running away from Mangaria City and finding freedom with Eddie. Now we see Bartholomew. He is the guardian of justice and peace, and he is Nicholas's father. He loves his son dearly and will do anything to find him after his so-called disappearance. Bartholomew is involved in conducting experiments on the traders and has plans to do gene extraction experiments on them. He also appears to be friends with Master Hilton. Mistress. Mistress is a Mangarian woman living at number 3. She is married to Master Hilton, but she is also the guardian of culture and heritage. She has a child with Master Hilton, Larissa or Little Miss. She had a forbidden relationship with Handler Xavier when she was younger and fell pregnant with Edyth, whom was saved from being drowned in the river by the orphan warden, and Edyth was also sent to the orphanage to stay there. Mistress has a close relationship with Madam Maryam, who is her caregiver. Mistress will do anything to find a cure and save Larissa's life. We then see Master Carlton, who is a Mangarian living at number 3. He is the guardian of science and technology. He appears to be this harsh, cruel, and ruthless man, and he actually looks down on the traders. He is married to Mistress and has a daughter with her named Larissa. He is also the mastermind behind the experiments being conducted at the laboratory. He treats all his servants poorly, and he is trying desperately to find a cure for his daughter's illness. We will now look at Larissa, also nicknamed Little Miss, Master and Mistress's daughter. She is Edyth's half-sister, and she has a serious illness and is possibly dying. She begins to appear as a rude and spoiled brat, but later becomes caring. She bonds with a hardy-da chick named Princess Fanny, whom sacrificially she blinds to find her sister Edyth. She develops a close relationship with Edyth, her secret half-sister. Larissa is completely unaware that she is related to Edyth. Larissa is destined to marry Nicholas, as they are both from Mangarian families. Lastly, we'll look at Madam Maryam. Madam Maryam is the orphan warden's estranged sister. She is the head drudge at number 3. Her nicknames are the Orc and Mary. She is loyal to Mistress and will do whatever it takes to protect her and hide her secrets, even kill Mistress's illegitimate child. She treats those under her very harshly, and she rules with an iron fist. I hope this video has helped you in some way to understand the characters a bit better. If you have not watched my video on the setting of the mark, please feel free to do so. It could help you revise. Thanks for watching.